Everyone, you've gotten some insight on some of the intricacies as to the consensus issues. Let's get some information on the preparation, the logistics, and whether or not the APC is ready for the national convention. I'm being joined by one of the members of the media subcommittee and the chair of the judiciary committee in the National Assembly in the Senate, Senator Okoyemi Bamidele joins us now. Thank you so much, Senator, for coming tonight.
It's my pleasure to be here. Good evening, viewers.
How turbulent is it for your party right now? Things are not perfect, right? But how are you guys adjusting to it? I mean, when I say guys, I mean how the leaders of the party are adjusting to it. There's been a lot of division.
What I would put it this way, there's actually nothing happening in APC now that is not a Nigerian situation. In other words, to say how turbulent is it for APC right now would even mean, by extension, wondering how turbulent it is for Nigeria. Some of the things we are seeing in APC are also a reflection of the state of our nation. And there's no doubting the fact that APC is a party of people from different backgrounds, different walks of life, and it would be mere assumption, for anyone to think that you have a perfect situation of understanding where once something is placed on the table, everyone agrees into it, no one differs. So we're having to manage that as much as possible. But what's important is that democracy is about the majority, having their way, and the minority having their say. Both must be safeguarded, must be protected. And that's really what is happening.
Are you afraid that, I mean, as a lawyer, a senior one at that, it's the tenement of the drafting of the Electoral Act, we talked about the consensus candidate, your party might be running far of it, and it might be an Achilles heel for your party in the nearest future?
I do not think so, but if you have specific provisions in mind.
Yes, the section that I read in terms of how those who withdraw from the race have to, exactly, have to sign and all of that. Well, it's very tricky because if you miss it out, legally speaking, it can crumble the whole process.
I agree with you, but to the extent that by the grace of God, I was even one of the drafters of the several amendments to the Electoral Act, which eventually had been signed into law by Mr. President. I participated actively, both as a member of the Senate Committee on INEC, as well as the chairman of the Senate Committee on Judiciary, Human Rights, and Legal Matters. And we also are doing our best to advise the party in ensuring that every step is taken to ensure that we don't run foul of the law. And there's nothing the party has done so far that is against the letters or spirit of the Electoral Act.
But with the meeting with the president had with the chairmanship candidates,
yes,
it doesn't look like when he told them to go and step down for Adamu Abdullahi, it doesn't look like the signing of the agreement was met.
No, that's premature. It has not come to that. A course of action does not arise until it's time for a deed to be done, or a deed has been done. This election we are talking about is still at least some 48 hours away, from here.
So your party will still do
Saturday.
that?
Every step that needs to be taken by the party will be taken. And mind you, everything that is going on now is still at the level of consultation. The president met with a chairmanship aspirant. That's part of the consultation. The president met with the governors. That's part of the consultation. Aspirants themselves are meeting among themselves. They held meetings before the president invited them to a meeting. They met thereafter. These are all part of consultation. What is important is that our party constitution, which is now kind of amplified by the new electoral law itself, provides for 3 modes of selection of those who would be candidates of the party, either at the Congress or convention, or people that would be the flag bearers of the party in general election. And one of such 3 ways of selecting them is by process of consensus. if not direct or indirect primaries.
Which is probably the easiest or the safest, probably cheapest.
It's probably the easiest, but it may become the most controversial too if it is not well handled.
And most legally,
yes, the most
legally sensitive too.
It may become very prone to legal action, depending on how it is handled. Yeah. But like I said, the idea of a written consent, is something that will become mature by the time it is time for the convention, the election. So in other words, at the convention ground, yeah, the election planning committee will have to state the various positions to be contested, the various aspirants, and the elections, the offices into which you have only one candidate, yeah, which will still require affirmation by the entire
and Congress. Also now, because of this new law, they have to show evidence of the written consent.
Oh yes, all of that will be done.
But in all of this, let me ask you, as a member of the subcommittee on the media, is everything ready and set?
I would say so far so good.
Have you been on the ground?
Yes, we have been on the ground.
What is it looking like?
I came here from Eagle Square, and there have been series of meetings. Virtually every subcommittee of the National Convention of the party is working round the clock. We have just, one more day, so to say, before the convention to perfect all the plans. But so far, things look good, and there's a lot of excitement in the air. And I don't envisage that there will be any logistics problems. Yes, there were issues that needed to be resolved. They have been resolved, and substantially, a lot of them, have been resolved. And as we speak, there are consultations going on across the country in all the 6 geopolitical zones. What people have been talking about all day today was about the consultation the president had with governors and chairmanship aspirants yesterday with respect to only one of the positions to be contested, which is the national chairman. Right. All the other ones that have been zoned to various geopolitical zones, governors and leaders are meeting as we speak to also macro zone those positions to various states within the geopolitical
Senator,
zone.
On a final note,
yes,
we've seen a lot of cleavages in your party. It's a sign of a bleak future if it's not properly managed. Now, the big question is that President Muhammadu Buhari will leave the stage. And the fear is that should he leave, it portends a lot of trouble for your party. Do you see that kind of trouble too?
Well, the fact that we see knows that kind of a fear itself shows or demonstrates the level of nascency of our democracy. Because if you have a democracy that is mature, that is stable, you shouldn't be too concerned about the danger, the exit of an individual will portend to the future of a political party.
But that individual has helped your party to stay together.
You have a president who at every point had commanded over 10 million votes. That should not be a fear. That should only be a call, a clarion call on every serious-minded member of APC, to ensure that we get our acts together as a party and we reposition the party and align with the popular yearnings and aspirations of the Nigerian people, and as much as possible ensure that we're able to offer ourselves as an alternative to everything Nigerians say they don't want.
Senator Opeyemi Bamidele, member of the APC National Convention Media Subcommittee, thank you so much for coming tonight.
It's my pleasure.
Appreciate it. Well, that's our show for today, everyone. Many thanks for watching. I'm Sean Kimale. Bye for now.